children, welcome back. Hope you all are enjoying your good health and doing well in your studies. So let's begin a new chapter in history, that is chapter 4, and the title is Forest Society and the Colonialism. In this chapter, we are going to understand what is colonialism and what was the impact of colonialism upon the forest society. And forest society basically covers the tribal community which resides near the forest. So let's begin the topics. Under forest society and colonialism, our first topic is deforestation and its causes. Before going to proceed, let us know what is the meaning of colonialism and we should understand what is forest society. Forest society is a society which resides in the forest. Basically, these are the tribal community and they totally depend upon the forest resources. Now comes the meaning of colonialism. Colonialism is a type of ruling in which any powerful country starts ruling upon weak country and occupies their area. In this way, we can say India was one of the colonial country of Great Britain and which was being ruled by Great Britain for many years. Now, under the ruling of colonialism, India, they came across several changes. One of them was the forest society, which had great impact in their life. Now, let us understand with the help of these steps. First was deforestation. When the process of deforestation was taking place, the great impact upon the life of tribal community, we can say as forest society, took place. So, what is deforestation? Here we need to understand. Deforestation means cutting down of trees, whereas the growing of more and more saplings or trees is known as afforestation. So children, as we know, this deforestation process doesn't increase just because of entry of Britishers in India. This process was already taking place since from ancient time when human beings started their life and settlement. In the same manner, we should remember that deforestation process became vigorous during the time period of colonial ruling of Great Britain in India. So why does this happen? What are the causes? Let us know this. So deforestation happened just because the land for cultivation is highly required by the Britishers, as well as we can see the reason behind this cultivation land or the requirement of the land for the cultivation was that the population was increasing vigorously. On the other hand, it was the basic requirement for the European country as well as Great Britain to supply crop from India to their place for their growing population. Now, on the other hand, the causes behind deforestation was timber required for the Royal Navy. This timber means the wood which is required for making furniture or any household material. In the same way, we know the royal ships of Britain were being damaged during wars, as well as they required new ships for establishing trade route across the sea, across the world. That's why they need to build ships, and for that they need timber, and India was great resource of oak trees and other trees which are required for making ships, and Britishers have great eye upon that resource. Now comes the expansion of railway. As we know, the process of industrialization was taking place in Great Britain. For that, they need to improve their transportation so that they can supply their goods to the far of the places. For that, they need to establish railway lines. And as we know, in the railway lines, when we establish the tracks and all, there is a wooden log which is being placed in between the railway tracks. And this wooden log is called as sleeper. And the sleepers are made up of timber or the wood, which is also very much highly required by the Britishers to establish or to frame the railways. In this way, we can say because of all these greedy needs, that is land for cultivation, timber required for the Royal Navy and expansion of the railways, the deforestation was taking place more and more during the colonial ruling. Due to that, the impact took place under the forest society. In 1865, most of the basic means of the livelihood of the forest-dwelling tribes were banned by the British. Let us see what happened to the forest tribes who were largely dependent on the forest resources for their livelihood. Villagers thought a good forest is one that provided them with their daily needs. such as fuel, fodder and leaves. Whereas Britishers thought differently. They felt a good forest is one that provided timber, building ships and railways. Teak and sal were the most popular trees. For this purpose, Britishers passed the Indian Forest Act 1865, which devastated completely the daily life of the forest dwellers. The daily practices of the villagers, such as cutting wood, grazing cattle, collecting fruits and roots, fishing, were banned and made it illegal. Forest-dwelling tribes were largely dependent on hunting small animals like deer, rabbit, etc. Britishers also imposed ban on these hunting of small animals. However, they encouraged the hunting of wild and dangerous animals like the elephants, lion and tiger by giving them rewards. In fact, if anyone was caught illegally, they were severely punished for the poaching. Even shifting cultivation have been practiced for the several generations by the forest tribes was banned. Shifting cultivation was an agricultural system in which plots of lands were cultivated temporarily. The forest tribes depended on this a great deal. Shifting cultivation had some disadvantages for British, and so it was banned. The land became useless for growing timber, led forest fire and also resulted soil erosion. Furthermore, it's difficult for the Britishers to collect taxes. The Indian Forest Act snatched away the means of livelihood of many of the nomadic and pastoralists, left with two options: either give in or left, or change the occupation, or take a stronger path and rebel. Some of them changed their occupation and were forced to work in the tea and coffee plantation, mines and factories at low wages, bad working condition and under strict government supervision. Few others stood up and against entirely British, which led to many other rebellion in the forest of India. While the Indian Forest Act was passed a boon to the British, it proved to be a pain for the forest dweller. That's all in this module. Remaining topic we are going to discuss in upcoming module. Till then, stay happy, stay safe. Let's do some questionnaire based upon the topic covered in this module. Question 1 is, what were the wooden planks laid across railway tracks to hold these tracks in a position called? Sleepers, plank, gauge or none of these? Next question is, which species of trees were promoted for building of ships or railways? Sesame and teak, teak and sal, pine and sesame or deodar or sesame? Now the last question is, when was the Forest Act passed in India? In year 1865, year 1895, year 1875 or year 1885? Answer all these questions in comment. Thank you for watching.